So, a little while ago, Donald Trump tweeted out this picture. It didn't have the captions on it. This is because Donald Trump is an idiot. Basically, Donald Trump was shown this picture at a presidential meeting and was asked if he could have it on his phone, like sent to his phone. A person nervously told him, okay, but please don't leak this in any way. Then he tweeted it. That's not a joke. That is the actual thing that happened. So the reason why that was a big deal is because this is better than a lot of satellite photos. I mean, look at what we're looking at. You can make out the writing on the edge of this, I don't know, this banister, the top of this roof. You can see individual scaffolding beams. This was taken from space. Tweeting this picture revealed to the world that the US has spy satellites that are way, 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 way better than, than other people thought. But the crazy thing is, as good as this was, if I remember correctly, this spy satellite, by the time the info had been leaked from Donald Trump, was already old. I'm pretty sure that this spy satellite was launched like over 2 decades before he tweeted it, meaning that current US spy satellite technology is assumedly, we can assume, like 2.5 decades more advanced than this. 8 years old? It was from the 90s? I'm getting different answers from chat. Let's double check. We're going to find out what satellite did this. Just so we can fully appreciate how advanced US surveillance capabilities really are. Here we go. The USA 224, also known as the NROL 49, launched in 2011. Okay, my apologies. A decade old. Critics worried each of these exquisite class, did not know that was a class, satellites would cost more than the Navy's latest air carrier. So that's how sophisticated these things are, okay? The cost of this is on parallel with that of an aircraft carrier. Satellite began operating 33 days after its predecessor stopped its primary mission. Details of its mission and orbit are classified, but amateur observers have tracked it in low Earth orbit. Shortly after launch, it was in orbit with a perigee of 251 kilometers, an apogee of 1,023 kilometers, and a bunch of other Kerbal Space Program bullshit. And then Donald Trump released... the fucking tweet. Before this tweet, the only KH-11 imagery available was leaked in 1984, fitting, and the only declassified imagery available in public domain was released in 2011, taken by KH-9. Wait, hold on a second. KH-11, 1984. The 15th... Wait! Guys, it was launched, but the tech was from the 80s. Literally. 15, 35, 40 years ago. This spy satellite, the technology of which was classified until Donald Trump leaked it, is 40-year-old photographic technology. Imagine what we have now. This is one of the things that people joke about when they learn about OPSEC stuff, especially with like Air Force tech. It's that the more you read up on our technology, the more it seems like everything that is publicly known about is 20 years out of date, and the actual shit isn't going to be declassified for a long time. That all of the seemingly high-tech stuff that gets released to the public is actually like decades behind what some crazies are working at somewhere in Nevada, where they have like teleporting spy planes that can do atom bomb, like teleport. We spend a lot of money on our military. The money goes somewhere. There's a reason we don't have healthcare. I'm just saying. It doesn't all get burned into a pit. Vaush again getting horny over the US military. The only thing that I'm looking to correct here, the only thing here that I want to address, is there are a lot of lefties who seem to be under the mistaken impression that because the US government is dumb and bloated and the military is overfunded, that means that it's incompetent. But it is not incompetent. You guys remember when we watched that video play-by-play on Desert Storm, the invasion of Iraq? And it was like, day 1, we conquer one half of Iraq. Day 2, we conquer the other half of Iraq. And it's like the world's most coordinated... Yeah. Do you think we have reliable nuclear interception tech yet? I didn't put much hope in that one. But you know what? If your real question is, has the United States been putting tens of billions of dollars into nuclear deterrence secretly with programs that are more complicated than we could even fathom? Yes. I have no doubt that somewhere in a gigantic warehouse with a tarp over it to make it look like part of the desert, somewhere in Nevada, next to where the Madness Combat series is playing out, there are like 2 guys with wily hairs and beards that haven't been trimmed since the 80s, and they're working on something that they swear to God would stop a nuclear apocalypse. And they have been given $40 billion. Sorry for doing the classic just curious meme, but I'm wondering what your take is on reallocating military budget into social programs. Do you generally agree, but no, as far as some go, like abolish the military? You can't, anybody who says abolish the military is a joker. That's not a serious, it's like, it's a ridiculous thing to say. It's not even desirable from a socialist perspective. However, reallocating the military budget, totally fine by me. 100% fine by me. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, 100%. We could cut our military budget in half and still have the most advanced military on the planet for decades to come with no issues at all. No chance of anyone else catching up. I swear to God, man, one of these days we're going to get... Okay, Donald Trump was a fake populist. One of these days we're going to get a real populist in office, and there's going to be some conflict somewhere around the globe, and he's going to be like, all right, let's get to it. Yeehaw! And he's going to declassify everything going on in Nevada, and we're going to be like riding in there on laser mecha spider tanks to like cast laser arcs across the fucking rocky grasslands of whatever place we're invading. Yeehaw! Yeah. Launch the droid army. Initiate the Grey Goo scenario. Are you for declassifying all US documents? Not all of them. I do understand national security is a thing, but a lot of them, yeah. How long do you think it'll be important for the US to at least maintain military superiority? Right now, the United States is kind of the lead country of the West, and the West is the only political bloc that is a democracy. I only care about the US having military superiority insofar as that is the case, but right now, you're goddamn right I want us to maintain that superiority. Oh no, I can read the tweets now. Guys! Fucking... Guys! Fucking Russia threatens nuclear war non-stop. They should not be military leaders. Literally, lefties get their fucking panties in a twist all the time over like, oh, Americans so warmongery. Russia is constantly saying like, yeah, if you don't let us do what we want, we will nuke you. Fuck them. And China plays defense for North Korea, who does the same thing, but admittedly to a much less of an extent. And it's not like China's any fucking saint of military interventionism or engagement either. They keep threatening to invade Taiwan, which is an ally of the US. We're not the ones starting these fights. Russia invaded Ukraine. China's threatening to invade Taiwan. We're not threatening to invade China. We're not threatening to invade Russia. We would never invade either of those because they're both nuclear powers. That'd be insane. We haven't threatened to do it either. We have far-right populist, like, political leaders who have screamed about it, but the actual likelihood of the United States making any real effort to invade China is nothing. It's zero. There's no chance. If a U.S. president, if DeSantis ever came to power and was like, oh, yeah, no, we should invade China, bro, the Pentagon would have him killed and quietly replaced. There is no fucking way. Meanwhile, over in Russia, they're screeching about beginning the end of the world like 24/7. Do you think it's an issue that NATO ships are in the South China Sea? No! Aren't they in the territorial water of Taiwan? Yes, they are. Yeah, then it's our fucking ally that keeps getting threatened by China. South China Sea is in international waters. Well, not all of it, of course. There are parts of it that are held. Hold on. South China Sea ownership map. Woo! I love territorial disputes. Whoo, baby! Look at those conflicting lines. Jesus Christ. China has been building artificial islands to try to claim water that isn't theirs. Yeah, I heard about that because the laws around territorial sovereignty in the water are built around coastlines. So by making artificial islands, they're expanding their international waters borders. 2 U.S. aircraft carriers now in South China Sea as Chinese Air Force flies 39 aircraft near Taiwan. There's no fucking way they invade Taiwan with 2 U.S. aircraft carrier groups in the South China Sea. There's no fucking way. There's no goddamn way, man. There's no way. That'd be insane. 2 carrier strike groups? That's 2022. Yeah, but we still have stuff there. An operational formation of roughly 7,500 personnel, usually an aircraft carrier, at least 1 cruiser, a destroyer squadron, and at least 2 destroyers or frigates. Vaush, the U.S. is absolutely responsible for needless invasions of other countries. Are we forgetting Vietnam? Vietnam? 65 years ago? Or literally everything we did in the Middle East? Yeah, I don't forget it. But what does that have to do with right now? Not to mention, and I know this comes across as like awfully mean, but I consider like threatening nuclear war to be on a much higher tier of like military escalation than invading a non-nuclear country. The CSIS war game, the US would beat China in a fight. Well, yeah, nothing can beat the US. Question mark, question mark, question mark? What? How many Navy ships in South China Sea? Are they 2 full carrier strike groups? The 7th Fleet? Wait, is it the entire 7th Fleet? CSIS. Where is a log of all of the Navy ships currently in operation in the South China Sea? It's a state secret. You can't hide that well, you know. I mean, if 2 aircraft carriers are there, it's reasonable to assume that the carrier strike groups are there as well. I don't know, I'm just curious. All right, well, whatever. Getting mega stun locked. Fleet tracker? Nimitz carrier strike group operates in South China Sea. We're learning so much today. Way too many lefties getting their panties in a twist thinking the West genocide count comes anywhere close to the older part of the planet, aka the East. No, stop! Why the fuck does anyone care about, when we're talking right now about, like, military power allocation, why does anyone give a fuck about what happened in the past? Why would we count the fucking Qing rebellion, 50 billion people dead, from 5 million years ago in China, in any kind of... I don't care about the Vietnam War when we're talking about, like, modern day, who's the most stable on the global stage. Right now, if we're talking about, like, Russia, China, America is undeniably the most stabilizing force of those three. 100%. Like, that's not even questionable, you know? So that's it. That's the only assessment. What I'm saying is that America is not the worst in terms of global genocide. I don't care. It's not a competition.